Welcome. Today, we are diving deep into a really powerful and, frankly, lucrative corner of real estate finance. We're going to map out the journey to becoming an expert in hard money and DSCR loans.
So let me ask you a question. How do the real pros get their deals funded, especially when they need to move fast and the big banks just aren't an option? For a quick fix and flip, or when they want to scale a rental portfolio without their W-2. Well, that's where our journey really begins, because they don't give up. They turn to a specialist. They turn to someone like you.
All right, here's the roadmap for today. We'll kick things off with the opportunity itself. Then we'll get into the specialized tools of the trade. After that, it's all about finding clients and partners, navigating the whole loan process, and finally, the best part, closing the deal and getting paid. Okay, let's start with your call to adventure. This is all about where you fit into this massive real estate world, and why your role is not just important, it's absolutely vital. So what is a loan broker, really? At the heart of it, you're a connector, a matchmaker even. You're the essential bridge between an investor who has a great deal that's maybe a little unconventional or time-sensitive, and the lender who has the capital and actually understands the vision. And here's what you've really got to get. Your value isn't just about finding money. Nope, it's about finding the right money at the right time. Big banks, they're like giant ships. They're built for stability, not for speed. You, on the other hand, provide access to financing that's specifically designed for the creative, fast-paced world of real estate investing. Every hero on a quest needs their tools, right? Well, in this business, your tools are two incredibly powerful and very different types of loans. Getting these down is totally key to your success. First up, the hard money loan. I want you to think of this as your secret weapon for speed. It's a short-term loan, we're talking maybe 6 to 18 months, and the approval is almost all about the property, the asset itself, not so much the borrower's credit score. This is absolutely perfect for that fix and flip investor who needs to close in like 10 days, not 2 or 3 months. Now, your second major tool is the DSCR loan. DSCR stands for Debt Service Coverage Ratio, which sounds complicated, but here's the game-changing idea. The loan qualifies based on the property's ability to pay for itself with rental income, not the borrower's personal W-2. This is the secret sauce for scaling a rental portfolio from one property to, well, as many as you want. So let's break it down like this. Hard money, that's your sprinter. It's built for short-term speed, perfect for a flip. The DSCR loan, that's your marathon runner. It's built for the long haul, for building a rental empire. See? It's all about using the right tool for the right job. Okay, that DSCR calculation, it sounds way more complex than it is. Trust me. It's really just a simple scorecard lenders use to see if a rental property makes financial sense. It's 3 simple steps. First, you figure out the total rent you'll get in a year. Second, you calculate the total annual loan payment. That's everything: principal, interest, taxes, insurance. And last, you just divide the income by the payment. That's it. Let's make it real with an example. Say a property brings in $30,000 a year in rent, and the total mortgage payment for the year is $24,000. You just divide $30,000 by $24,000, and you get 1.25. Now, most lenders are looking for a number around 1.2 or higher. That 1.25 tells them the property's income covers all the debt and has an next 25% cushion. That, to a lender, is a solid deal. All right, so you get your value and you've got your tools. Now the real quest begins, building your network. That means finding the borrowers who need your help and the lenders who have the capital to make it happen. Here's the thing, your future clients, they're already out there looking for deals every single day. The trick isn't just knowing where they hang out, but how you connect with them. Don't just show up to sell loans, show up to solve problems. Go to those local real estate investor meetings and just listen. When an investor talks about a funding problem, that's your cue to offer real value, not just a sales pitch. That's how you become their go-to person. And on the other side of that coin, you've got your lending partners. Look, building a diverse network here is your superpower. Private lenders, they're awesome for those unique deals that need a bit more of a story, a human touch. Institutional lenders, they're your workhorses for the more straightforward stuff, giving you efficiency and scale. The best brokers don't just pick one path. They know exactly who to call for any given deal. So, you've found a borrower, you've got a lender in mind. Now what? Well, this is where you truly shine. You become the indispensable guide who navigates the deal all the way from the application to the closing table. This 4-step process, this is where you prove your worth. Your job is so much more than just passing documents back and forth. You are the project manager for this entire deal. You think ahead. You anticipate the lender's questions. You help the borrower put together a file that's clean, compelling, and makes sense. You keep everyone, the borrower, the lender, the title company, in the loop. This is the proactive guidance that people are paying for. And along the way, you have to be able to spot trouble before it starts. Here's a classic example. A borrower gives you a renovation budget that just seems way too low. A rookie broker might just pass it along and hope for the best. But a pro gently pushes back. They ask for contractor bids. They help the borrower present a realistic plan. That one move doesn't just save the deal. It builds incredible trust. It shows you're an expert, not just an order taker. And now we have made it to the final stage of our journey, the destination. This is where all that hard work, all that guidance and expertise finally pays off. So how do you get paid? Well, brokers typically earn a commission, sometimes called points, based on the total loan amount. A pretty common fee is right around 2%. So on a $500,000 loan, that's a $10,000 commission for you, for successfully connecting the dots and guiding that deal all the way home. But listen, here is the real secret to success in the long run. It's not about that one commission check. It's about providing such amazing service that your client never even thinks about calling anyone else. You become a critical part of their investment team. And that's really who you become. You're not just some person pushing paper. You are the indispensable guide, the problem solver, the expert who makes the deals that seemed impossible actually happen. And that, right there, is the real reward. So let's quickly recap the biggest takeaways from our journey today. First, your role is to connect investors to specialized, flexible capital. Second, remember your two main tools. Hard money is all about speed, and DSCR is all about long-term cash flow. Third, your real value is in building your network and masterfully guiding the process. And finally, long-term success. That's built on a foundation of solid relationships and genuine expertise. We've laid out the entire path for you, from the very first step to the final destination. You literally have the map. So the only real question left is, are you ready to start the journey? Think about how many deals out there are just waiting for an expert guide to make them happen.